God, listen to the width on that vibrato. Hey guys, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whichever applies to you. Welcome back. If you're new here, my name is Julia. I'm a contemporary singing specialist based in Australia, and today I am reacting to Gary V performing the song Spain by Corea. And to tell you the truth, I could not be more keen because jazz vocalist, jazzer background, jazz. I'm so excited. So without further ado, let's just get on into this.
Wish 1075.
Yesterday, just a photograph of yesterday, and all its edges folded into coated, faded sepia brown, and yet it's all I have of our past love. A postscript to its ending. Brighter days, I can see such brighter days, when every song we sang is sung again. And now we know this time it's for good, and we're lovers once again. And you're near me. You're near. You're near me.
Okay, oh God. So, hitting the ground running. This is the Al Jarreau version. He just sang the lyrics that Al Jarreau wrote for the opening part of Chick Corea's song Spain, which is based off a guitar concerto, which it should be called this. I don't quite remember the name of it, but Caption Julia's got my back. That is really, really cool. I'm very interested now. I was wondering what he was going to do, whether it would be the Al Jarreau lyrics or whether he would have written his own, because that's not completely uncommon for jazz tunes to start off purely instrumental and then for people to add lyrics on top of it. Loved the different colors and tones that he's putting into his voice. This is not an easy song by any stretch of the imagination. And we're just going to keep going because I want to see how he handles the rhythmic elements, but also to see if that impacts his vocal production in any way, because at the moment it's been very smooth. He's been playing with different depths and widths of vibrato. You're kind of following patterns that an instrument might use as opposed to your stock standard vocal ideas, if you will, but that is very Al Jarreau. Al Jarreau was basically like just he was a human music man and just became like music itself when he was performing. So I am super keen to see how Gary V navigates the rest of this and just to see how much of the popularized Al Jarreau version he plays off of or whether he changes anything. So let's keep going.
But that's not all. I can remember the rain in December, the leaves were brown, falling down. In Spain I did love and adore you. The nights filled with joy were our yesterdays, and the nights were our needs of yearning. I can recall my desire, bury a memory, it's on fire, and I get a picture of all our yesterdays. Yesterday I can say, I get a kick every time I see you gaze at me. I can remember the rain in December, the leaves were brown, falling down. Our love was a Spanish fiesta. The bright lights and sounds were our joy each day, and the nights were our needs of yearning. I can recall my desire, bury a memory, it's on fire, and I get a picture of all our yesterdays. Yesterday I can say, I get the kick every time I see you gaze at me. I see moments of history. Your eyes meet mine, and they dance to the melody as we live again, as if dreaming. memory is on fire. I got a picture of all our yesterdays. Yesterday, I can say, like every time I see you gaze at me.
Oh my god, the energy and musicality on this guy. Spain's not easy. Spain is not an easy song. Because not only do you have to be higher energy, you have to hit that rhythm like right in the pocket. It's going fast. If you are out by even a bit, it no longer fits the style. And that's where things can be really difficult. Because your voice has to be able to keep up with that pace, not just the pace, but also be familiar enough to sit in the groove that it still sounds like the style that it is intended to sound like. So his voice is managing to keep up the speed, hit right in those rhythms. The syncopation is where we find it a little bit tricky sometimes to like hit it right in the middle. I'll point out the bit that I'm talking about. It's the head or the chorus, if you will. The dun 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 bum, that bit. So being able to hit right in the middle of those, you gotta be locked in with the rhythm, man. And he's just crushing it at the moment. I am seeing engagement through the sides of his neck. I do think that you could sing this without the certain points of tension that he's using, but there's so much energy that he's putting into this. Like it's really, really fun to listen to, and he's hitting all the music points, like basically bang on. So we're gonna keep going.
You gaze at me, I see moments of history. Your eyes meet mine, and they dance to the melody. As we live again, as if dreaming. The sounds of our hearts beat like castanets, and forever we'll know their meaning. I can recall my desire, bury memory, it's on fire, and I got a picture of all our yesterdays. Yesterday, I can say, I got to keep every time I see you gaze at me.
Oh, he's going there. He's doing the outro solo. Oh. Okay, so a little bit of background. The solo is about like your musical expression within the song. So unlike other, say, contemporary styles where you might perform the solo because that's what people expect to hear in the song, in jazz, you're less likely to hear someone perform someone else's solo because usually it's an extension of the sort of virtuosic capabilities of that particular instrumentalist or vocalist or whatever it is. And sometimes basically you need to be able to absolutely hit it out of the park if you are going to be taking on a solo from something that's very well established as belonging to a particular person. So this is the sounding like the Al Jarreau solo in Spain. So I'm keen to see how he handles this. I get the feeling that he's a very musical person, just from the different sounds that he was making and how he was sitting in the rhythm. He seems very comfortable, which, I mean, you want to be comfortable at this speed doing these rhythms if you want to enjoy the song instead of just feeling like you're at this breakneck pace and just you're stressed. You're stressed, lemon zest if you're not comfortable with these speeds and rhythms. And just, yeah, anyway, I know that it's different in other contemporary styles where it's like that's the solo you're expecting is to hear the one that's been like released In jazz, not so much. It's like we expect the solo to be an extension of the soloist. So I'm very keen to see how he navigates this and whether he expands on it at all, because already he's thrown in things that still seem more like that Al Jarreau style. If you look at him singing, not Gary, but if you listen to Al Jarreau sing Take 5, you can hear those percussive sounds. That seems very indicative of the way in which he performs. But I mean, he's pulling it off and kind of making it his own, which is really, really cool. So I'm gonna go back. The moment he was doing the brrr, that sound, I was like, is he doing it? Is he going? Yeah, he's going there. Let's go there with him. He's extended
You gaze at me, I see moments of history. Your eyes meet mine, and they dance to the melody as we live again. Oh, I seem to dream. The sounds of our hearts beat like castanets, and forever we'll know their meaning. I can remember the rain in December, the leaves were brown, falling down. Our love was a Spanish fiesta. The bright lights and sounds were our joy each day, and the nights were our need to hear her name. I can become my desire, buried a memory that's on fire. And I get a picture of all I yesterday, it's just today. I got to think every time I see that space.
Wish exclusive. On Wish 1075.
Yeah!
He's gonna need some water because he set that on fire. That was really good. You know how before I just mentioned that if you're doing someone solo, you need to like basically crush it because it's an extension of their virtuosic and musical ability, if you will. And sometimes if you go for someone solo and then you don't do it as good as them, all you're really showing is that you're not as good as that soloist, which sounds like a horrible thing to say, but that is kind of how it could be perceived. He crushed that. He did really, really well. And then like expanded on it. He did like, what, 8 more? 8 more? God, I would have to go back and count just how much more of the form he soloed over. But that was so cool. The energy was there. The musicality was there. The fun was there, which is one of my favorite things about this song. It's just so damn fun. It's a really fun song to sing. It's a fun song to move to. I like couldn't stay in my body. And this is my very first jazz reaction. Well, I mean, I guess the Haley Reinhardt was kind of jazz. That one was more like cabaret big band. This is like like your jazz Latin. I really love Latin rhythms and styles and those kinds of compositions. So Chick Corea is a really interesting, awesome composer. If you listen to any of his other music, you're going to get lots of different musical ideas because he's got this fusion of different styles feeding into the way that he writes. So he's a really cool player, but also a composer. If you're going to go and listen to some of his other stuff, by all means, go and do that because it's really fun. But back to Gary, that was splendid. That was splendid. He's stuck in the form, the syncopation that I was talking about earlier.
I can become my library on the moment. That's on fire. I got a picture of all yesterday's just today. I got the picture in time. I see.
You got to be sitting with it right. And one of the ways, if you are doing like a fast Latin tune and you really want to stay with the groove, is lock in with your rhythm section. And if you can really lock into that rhythm, it will help you as a vocalist sort of really stay in the pocket so that you're not reacting as much to any melody that's being played, but more really sitting in. You kind of know where that melody is going to sit within that rhythm. It just makes for easier listening because by the time if you're waiting for melody to guide you in a song like this, by the time you've heard it and by the time you sing it, you're too late. The song's too fast. It's too fast. I actually suspect, does he play like a rhythm section instrument? Like piano or bass, guitar, or like the drum kit, because his sense of like locking in with the time is pretty darn good. But also when he was doing his solos, the way that his fingers were moving and a lot of the ideas that he had, they sound more like the ideas that you might pop out on an instrument. A way that you can start to get more comfortable and generate different musical ideas that you can throw into your solos is by listening to or transcribing or scatting with instrumental solos that start off with breath-based instruments like trumpet or saxophone, and then you can try with piano solos. But it sounds like there are ideas in his solos that would be an extension of having played an instrument or of having studied instrumental solos or thought in a musical way that might exceed just I'm singing lyrics in a pretty melody. Like you can really expand vocally far past what sometimes people expect of themselves. And that's one way to do it. And those are the ideas that I hear from him is he's someone who is not just a vocalist. He sounds like he has delved into the instrumentalist part. Not to say the voice isn't an instrument. It's just sometimes has different roles and therefore we might not think outside of what we normally hear from other vocalists, which is lyrics and melody. And it sounds like he's gone outside of that and has either got another instrument that he plays or he's broken down solos from other instrumentals, or he's found, insanely good vocalists who also are more musically creative with their solos that sound more like an instrumental solo, like your Algeros. This was really, really fun. As far as his vocal production goes, he really varied it up from really low laryngeal positions to very bright forward sounds as he's going up into his range. And then we've got some lighter mechanism stuff going on up through the top. At the same time, he might use a slightly fuller sound in the same spot that he just used a lighter sound. And this will give us a little bit of variety, a little bit of contrast in the way that he's delivering it. In particular, you can hear this in the beginning when he's singing that intro.
And all its edges fold.
Like there, between and edges, you can hear like 3 different kinds of tonal choices that he's making.
Yesterday,
That there being a little bit softer.
just a photograph of yesterday, and all its edges folded into coated, faded sepia brown, and yet it's all I
So light, a little bit deeper, wider.
have
That wider vibrato as well sounds.
of our past love,
God, listen to the width on that vibrato.
of our past love, a postscript to its ending.
So different musical ideas and different timbres. That was what kind of indicated to me that I was in for like a good listen. It's just the variety and how comfortable he was using those different parts of his voice just in the verse. This was great, super entertaining. I loved it. I really enjoyed reacting to this. So thank you to those who suggested it. I kind of wish they had put Algero in the title just in case some people don't know it because, I mean, it's been a while since it was released and Algero is no longer with us, so it's not like he's going to be putting out anything new, but he was an incredible vocalist, an incredible musician, and I think, credit where credit's due. Chick Corea wrote a fantastic song, and Al Jarreau's lyrics and interpretation are a fantastic rendition of that. And now we've got Gary V, who covered that rendition and then added his own little flavors on in there, which is also fantastic, entertaining listening experience. So that is it for me today, guys. I hope that you enjoyed that one. If you did, please be sure to give this video a like, click the subscribe button and the bell notification to all if you want more videos just like this one. As usual, I hope you're staying safe. I hope you are staying healthy, and I will see you next time. Bye. This much speed to stay in. Hit the notes there and then it's gone on the wish bush. On the wish bush. Dang it.